Hello everyone, it is I, Josh, here to bring you a brand new video, and I had no idea, but last night I was looking around for a movie to watch, and I just stumbled upon It Kills. Actually, it's Camp Blood 7. I didn't even know there were 7 of these movies. I remember the first one and the second one, and wow, all I can say is wow. Really? They had to make another one? And then they decided to call It Kills because I guess calling it Camp Blood 7 would be too much. Yeah, it's hard to believe. I remember the first two, and I seen parts of the third one, and I was like, they need to stop making these movies. They really do, because they're not as great. They're basically rip-offs of Friday the 13th. I mean, the whole entire title is called Camp Blood, which, if you remember, Friday the 13th, Camp Crystal Lake gets that nickname, Camp Blood. Nobody wants to go to camp. But anyways, as always, it's about a killer clown, which I have to say the mask looks a little bit better. I only seen briefly a little bit of it. I didn't really care to watch all of it. But I have to say, I was surprised that they called it Kills. Basically, they're trying to say it's like It the movie, which I think it's a bunch of college kids, or maybe high school kids. I'm not really sure. I didn't really read much of it. But anyways, they taking a break from school. They're at a fair, and they just so happen to go to the camp, only known as Camp Blood, where a killer clown lurks around. The difference between Friday the 13th, which happens at night, Camp Blood relies on daytime, which is shocking because usually the most scariest thing is at night. So you have stalks during the daytime. I don't know how that's even scary because you can see the killer and you can run away from the killer. Usually when stuff like this happens at night, it's hard to see where you're going and you stumble and fall and basically kill yourself in the process. This movie, the whole Camp Blood series, is a B film, but I had no idea that they made a 5. I had no idea they made a 4, 5, 6, and now a 7th film. So I might check it out some more, but it's kind of one of those movies that you might just want to skip it. Also, I want to, while I never reviewed a book, let me just get this real quick. I got this a few years ago. It was the same year that Peter Brack's book came out, the Camp Crystal Lake memories or memoirs. Well, I got this book. It's called The Making of Friday the 13th, The Legend of Camp Blood, and it's more detailed. I'm sorry, but Peter Brack's book is less detailed. I haven't really read his book. But the author, David Grove, wrote this 6 months before Camp Crystal Lake memories, or memoirs, or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, where Peter Brack only interviewed only a handful of people who were actually involved, he went to, like, Wes Craven and what's his name? Wow, I'm having issues here right now. I can't remember. Clive Barker from Hellraiser, who had nothing to do with Friday the 13th. Neither did Wes Craven. Wes Craven did show up on the set of Sean S. Cunningham and watched a little bit of the making of the film. But other than that, he had really nothing to do with the series because he went on and did A Nightmare on Elm Street. Because Sean S. Cunningham and Wes Craven worked together on Last House on the Left, which is a really great movie. Really controversial. I mean, most people say it's not as controversial, but it was controversial for its time. Especially if you watch the old trailers where it says it's only a movie. Just keep repeating, it's only a movie. It's only a movie. Over and over again to remind you you're only watching a movie. So, to keep yourself from fainting, just tell yourself it's only a movie. It's only a movie. That thing is the most haunting thing about the trailer. But yeah, I got Making of Friday the 13th. It has more photos than Peter Brack's book, which, again, I haven't really got to see. I wanted to get that book when it came out because just thought, oh, I just really want to get this book. But David Grove did a wonderful job. He interviewed hundreds of people who were all involved in the films. And, of course, a lot of people say, well, when New Line Cinema owned Friday the 13th, it wasn't Friday the 13th because they didn't own the rights to call it that. Actually, it was decided in a meeting not to call Part 9, which, by the way, it's still Part 9, Friday the 13th, Part 9, Jason Goes to Hell. They instead insisted on just calling it Jason because, again, it's like with Part 8, Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. They just love the idea of just calling it Jason. And then when they did come out with the remake, where New Line Cinema and Paramount teamed up to make this, and along with Warner Bros., because Warner Bros. Owns the rights to the Friday the 13th franchise, along with New Line Cinema, who's no longer really an entity in itself. It's no longer a studio, because they closed down. I can't remember when, but they closed down. And I was kind of unhappy when Warner Bros. Decided to close down New Line Cinema, And, of course, Sean S. Cunningham at the time said he didn't know who owned the rights, but yet New Line Cinema did own the rights to not only the Jason character, but the entire franchise. And the fact is, when they did Freddy vs. Jason, instead of, maybe showing elements of other movies, because, again, New Line Cinema didn't want to have to pay for the entire library of Friday the 13th, they decided to sort of make a new story. And it was only lesser than what Freddy, because everyone knows who Freddy was, and everyone knows who Jason is. And while that movie did kick ass and brought back the gore, which was solely missing in the other sequels, that was like the 11th time we've seen Jason, and the 8th time we've seen Freddy, because we have the original series. And then when they remade Nightmare on Elm Street, a lot of people hated it. They hated Jackie Earle Haley. They try to blame him for the way the movie was. If there's anybody to blame, it's really the script. They took 14 different scripts and hybrided it together, and it didn't work. And if they ever did make another Freddy film, which I'm hoping, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I've heard rumors that, there's going to be a follow-up, or at least they were going to make another Freddy film with Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy. And people don't like the makeup. I'm sure a lot, if you look at fans today, the younger ones, they'll probably watch the original and go, how corny that was. Or look at that makeup. That makeup was nasty looking, or it wasn't good enough. And, I love them, so I love them all. I don't care. People have told me I betrayed the originals by watching the remake, and I don't know how I could betray the original, because the original is still one of my top favorite films. Just like Halloween is still one of my top favorite films, along with Friday the 13th. All of them are pretty much my favorite films. One thing I've heard that Doug Bradley may return as Pinhead. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But after the last one, it left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm hoping that they bring back the old Pinhead, the Pinhead that we all love, who actually goes after people. Because it's like, once they made Pinhead into a human, it kind of lost interest in it. I mean, the first 4 movies are better. 5 is one of the worst movies. 6 is okay. 7's alright, and 8 is also alright, but it's basically the same crap. Alright, well, I gotta go, guys, so I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all. Thanks for supporting my channel. Click the like button, share this on your social media. Yes, you're gonna see some bloopers, because, again, I'm not scripted like most people. It comes off the top of my head. So I love y'all. Take care. God